Hey, there's J-Dog. Hey, I'm about to head out on a little road trip, going out to western Massachusetts and going to do some exploring in the Berkshires. I haven't been out to the Berkshires in over 20 years and decided to take a little trip just to do some exploring, sort of near home. So I'm going to take a loop trip. I'm going out on the Mohawk Trail, going up to the far corner of Massachusetts and down south, down to Lenox and Stockbridge, and then make my way home. So on this road trip, the first segment that I'm traveling on is Route 2. Route 2 is called the Mohawk Trail. It was named that because it was an ancient Native American path from the Connecticut River Valley over west to the Hudson River Valley. And it's a pretty road, as you'll see. I'm going to show some clips here. You go through these small little towns, but it's a curvy, winding road that follows rivers, but it's a very pretty drive. I haven't done this drive in a lot of years, so I'm really enjoying this drive out here. But I'll show you some clips so you can enjoy it also. One of the quick little stops I decided to make on my trip out to Western Mass and the Berkshires is a little town of Shelburne Falls. It's right behind me across the river here, and it's famous for the Bridge of Flowers. And the Bridge of Flowers is going to be right up here. I'm going to show you. I'm not sure if it's open, but let's go take a look and see if the bridge is open. So this is the bridge that goes over to Shelburne Falls. Little old iron bridge. My RV would have never made it over that thing. And this is the Bridge of Flowers. And I think, again, due to COVID, it's closed because it does attract a lot of people. But look at those flowers. My wife and I have been out here a few times. We can walk and enjoy the flowers. But boy, isn't that pretty, huh? Really spectacular. So there's the bridge. That was an old, I believe, street trolley bridge that was abandoned, and they turned it into basically a city park, and they planted it with flowers with a little path down the middle, and there's a garden club that maintains it. But it is quite popular here in Massachusetts to see this bridge, and sorry I couldn't take you over there to see that, but it is spectacular. Well, that was my first stop on my little road trip here to Shelburne Falls, so let's keep going west. My first overnight stop on this road trip out to the Berkshires in western Massachusetts is at Mohawk Trail State Forest. This is a lovely place. I am way out in western Massachusetts. I'll put up a map here so you can see where I am. This is very remote. If you think of Massachusetts being about Boston, this is as far away as almost you can get from that environment. But this is a lovely place. It's a little campground, which I'm going to show you in a second, that sits right along the cold river. This state park has a beautiful wooded campground. There's about 50 sites here at Mohawk Trail State Forest. Most of them are geared towards tenters because they're small. There's no hookups, no water, electricity. There is water spigots, and you can run generators here. You see my site is right here, and I got a site, my RV is 25 feet long, so it'll fit in most of these sites, but you could not get a 40-footer in here. But this is beautiful camping. This is really pristine. This is kind of the way camping's supposed to be. There's a area of the campground that is reserved for walk-in camping. You can't drive your cars down here, but this part of the campground is set next to the river, so the river's right over here. But it's set in this old growth pine. There's a placard that says some of these old growth pine trees are about 175 years old. but look at some of these trees. Just incredible, some of these trees. They go way up. I spent 2 days here camped at Mohawk Trail State Forest. It rained this morning, but then it cleared off. It was nice, a little warm, but there's no internet service here, so I had to entertain myself with Mother Nature. So I hung around the river and took a lot of camera shots and pictures, but it was good. It was a nice, slow-paced little stay here, and I got to enjoy a campfire. So tomorrow I pack up and continue heading west and then south, still exploring the Berkshires. One of the places I wanted to visit on my road trip out here in the Berkshires is Mount Greylock. I'm at the state reservation here, and I'm at the visitor center, which I'll show you in a second. But I had to drive my RV up here. You can drive to the top of the mountain. There is a road, and I'll show you that here. Up that road there, 8 miles, you can drive to the top of Mount Greylock. I'm not going to try it in my RV. The going up would be easy. It's the coming down and burning out the brakes. But they have a visitor center here. This is kind of at the base, even though it's quite high up here. It's closed because of the COVID stuff, so you can't go into the museum. But what a little pretty area here. It's going to give you a little pan shot of this valley. But boy, it is really pretty looking south from here. Really nice. On my way through the Berkshires, I stopped in Stockbridge, which you saw me driving through real quickly. And I decided to stop at the National Shrine of Divine Mercy. This is kind of a Catholic monastery. I don't know all the background of it, but it's home to the Order of Marian Priests. And they live here and do masses quite often. In fact, I just attended a mass here at outside mass, but the grounds here are beautiful. And what I'm going to do here is I'll put up a slideshow to best show what I saw here, but it's an absolutely beautiful place. If you're in Stockbridge, I've been to Stockbridge several times. I've never come up here on this hill to see this shrine, but it is spectacular. Well, I'm finishing up my whirlwind tour of the Berkshires here in Stockbridge, Massachusetts. I'm standing in front of the Red Lion Inn. I've had a couple good meals here. I actually stayed here once with my wife. But you can see people eating lunch on the porch. It's really an idyllic setting to have lunch at the Red Lion Inn. Stockbridge is a beautiful town. I wish I had more time to spend here. This trip has made me realize I've got to come back out to these places. The Lenox, just drove through it. Stockbridge, I definitely want to come back here. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Stay safe. See you on down the road.